the links, WhatsApp, Facebook, your groups, Twitter, wherever that you can. Share the link. In your groups, share the link. Let's hit 1,000 people in 10 minutes, please. Every minute, 100 people. Every minute, 100 people. Until we hit 1,000 in 10 minutes, then I will start the broadcast proper. I see Mbaku Hamidu is joining from Canada. I see Chris, is it Chris Peace or something like that from Idaho? I see Vic Teke is joining from Texas. I see Lexus Mbo, Washington, D.C. I also see Willie Penny is joining from Canada. I see Foconyi, I think so, Foconyi Collins is joining from Spain. I see Anglo Ambassador, says from the Northern Zone in Ground Zero, God bless you. I see Mba Franklin joining in from Japan. I see Du joining in, he says, from La République du Cameroon. I hope you will live there soon. I see Jennifer Decay, he says, I'm joining from Big Babanki. I also see Indeed Fredo joining in from the UK. We are now over 400 people in about 4 minutes. Please, it is working well right now. 400 people, over 400 people in 4 minutes. We want to hit 1,000 people in 10 minutes maximum. We have done it before. Let's do it today. Please share the link. Share the link. If it is important, make a phone call to your friends who have been waiting for this, who couldn't watch yesterday. Please give them a ring, send them the links, and put it on the social media platforms and let them know that we are about to begin the broadcast. Again, I always want you to know that when I come to you, I do not come to you to entertain you. I come to you to bring you vital information about our struggle, about our revolution, about where we are, and about every breaking development in the revolution. And so when I come to you, it is very, very important that we have as many people as possible watching and listening who can then take the news to other platforms. Again, we are almost 500 people right now. 6 minutes gone. We are lacking behind in 1 minute. So please, over 500 people in 6 minutes. We need 5 more hundred people for me to begin the broadcast. I see Edwin Espinal is joining in from Dubai. I see Sikot Judson is joining in from Finland. I also see Sam Eja says, I'm joining in from Bonaberry in La République du Cameroon. You got it right, Sam. I also see somebody here, I think is from, is it Motengene? Oh, somebody is watching from Baltimore, Blazo. Thank you. I hope you are safe. I see also Sammy White joining in from Canada. I see Fisher King or Fisher in King joining in from Tokyo, Japan. I see Akim is joining in from Baminda right now. I see Cletus Injilam watching live from Bowie, Maryland. Thank you. I see Ali Afu says watching from the is it watching from the US? I believe so. We have 600 people, exact 605 people in 7 minutes. That means in 11 minutes, maximum 11 minutes, we need 1,000 people. Well, let's get there before I can start the broadcast. Please, I'm pleading with you. As you join, share the link so that others can join us as soon as possible. I see Lookman, he says, I am joining from Lagos. I also see somebody, Terence Amabo, is joining from Australia. I also see Bruno is joining from Tico. And I also see Uh, I see. I see Peter Munyongo is joining from Maryland. I see Peter Indula is joining from Germany. And I see Marcellus Yu, I won't call the last name, is joining from Boya, the federal capital. I also see Marcellus, another Marcellus, is, he says he's joining from in Queen. No, I think this Marcellus, I know this Marcellus, this cannot be in Queen. This guy is from Belgium. I know you. All right. I also see Inyambui Pascal. He says he's joining in from the federal capital in Boya. I see Inyangaji joining from Abu Dhabi. And I see also Joshua. I won't call the last name. Say he's joining in from Bowie County. I see Bean Eric. He says, I'm joining from Ground Zero. And I also see somebody from Lebanon, Benny Parry, joining from Lebanon. Thank you. I see also Indimba Jackie is joining from Abu Dhabi. Please, we still haven't hit 700 yet. It is slowing down. Please, a lot of you have just joined the broadcast, and I haven't started the broadcast proper yet. I am waiting for you to share the link, pass the link around to your social media platform. Pass the link around in your WhatsApp groups. Pass the link to your Twitter. Please, we want to hit at least 1,000 people for this broadcast to begin proper. We have close to 700 people right now. In 10 minutes, we are 3 minutes behind. I really was hoping we start this broadcast in 10 minutes. But we are still trying to hit 700 people, and it's already 10 minutes. Please, we have less than 300 to go. Can we make that up? If you are joining, please share the link wherever you are, on your Facebook account, your Twitter account, your WhatsApp account, wherever, whatever platform you have. Please share the link there. Once we hit 1,000 people, I will start the broadcast proper. We're over 700 right now. Please let it rise. Again, let me know where you are joining in from. I see Lakuzi Zami is joining from Washington. Shu KC is joining in from Bafoussam. He says, I'm joining from Bafoussam live. Bafoussam, that is in La Republique du Cameroon. And I also have Tegan Waka is joining in live. He says from Batibo. I hope you are safe out there in your family. I just got a phone call a few minutes ago that as I speak, there is ongoing shooting in Batibo with a helicopter flying over the sky. I got that call about 10 minutes ago before I came over the air. I see George Array is joining from Cape Town, South Africa. I also see somebody from Kuwait, Adel Akenji, joining from Kuwait. Please, we are almost 800 people. I'm pleading with you as you join, share the link so that I can start this broadcast proper. I don't want to keep you waiting for so long. Please, but we have to hit 1,000 people for me to start the broadcast. And again, I see Ayub Jesus is joining from the colonial capital in Yaoundé. I also see Bisong Charlotte. She says she's coming in from Osing. I've forgotten where Osing is. Or Osing, I know Osing is it in Manu or in the northwest? Somewhere there. However, in the Amberland. I see Hilary Ijones coming in, joining from Canada. I also see Eunice Bakwa joining from Chong Village. Where is that? Is that in Amberland or somewhere in the diaspora? Okay, that is good in a way. And I see Mokyo Vivian. It says, I'm joining from the south. South of Amberland or south where? Thanks for joining anyway. I see in Song Eric is joining from the federal capital in Boya. I also see Yamoro Monfrey from the colonial capital, Yaoundé. Thank you. I also see Achango Romeo. He says, I am joining from Garaga. Does that place exist? Where you alone, you know. Thanks for joining anyways. I see Foyne Cedric. He says he's joining from ground zero. Thank you. We have over 800, close to 900 people. Please, we're almost there. Close to 900 people. A few minutes to go before I go on to start the broadcast. Please share the link on your Facebook, your WhatsApp, and if possible, make a phone call to somebody you know should be watching. Please do that and let me start. Again, for those watching on SCTV in the homeland, in ground zero, I want you to know that I appreciate your tuning in. I appreciate your tenacity in this struggle, your resilience in this struggle. This message is very, very important. The Bible says that men shall not live by bread alone. We shall not live or sustain this struggle by mere fighting. Word, knowledge, information, they say, is power. That is why it is very important that we all listen to get the message I bring to you today. Again, we are almost 900 people gone, a little longer than I expected. It's 15 minutes already. Please, I'm pleading with you. Some people were here from the very beginning. I hate to keep them sitting and waiting for latecomers to come in. So if you are joining, please do the sharing. Pass the link in your Facebook and WhatsApp accounts and Twitter accounts. Let's hit 1,000 people and I will start, and we are almost there. We are almost hitting 1,000 people. In fact, we have less than 70 people to go to 1,000. And I see, let me go back to where they are coming from. I see Jordan Akwayaga joining in from Finland. And I see somebody here says joining from Biafra. What's the name there? Sorry, I missed that name. I see Gideon G says, I'm joining from the northern zone in Amberland. And there is also I see Justice somebody says he's joining from the colonial capital in Yaoundé. Thank you. We are almost there. Less than 10 people to hit 1,000. Thank you so very much. Please keep on sharing the link. Keep on sharing the link as I prepare to bring you the broadcast proper. You are wonderful people. You are a wonderful audience. Let's make sure by the time that this broadcast is over, we're able to hit at least 2,000 people watching. I want to let you know that at the end of my presentation, I should be able to take a few questions from you. Possibly not very many, but a few questions. So please, answer this, and do not ask a question on any other subject other than the subject I address tonight. So don't go and ask me about something that will happen tomorrow or something that happened maybe 5 months ago. Ask me a question today on the subject, on the things that I present to you in this presentation. Again, we have hit 1,000 people right now, and I have no more reason to keep you hanging out there. I want to, again, welcome the people back at home, and I appreciate your joining us. I appreciate your joining us, and you are watching in Batable. I want you to know that the interim government is thinking about you. You are joining from anywhere in Amberland. You are welcome to the broadcast. Before I go into the broadcast proper, I want to take a moment to deliver a message from the acting president of this interim government, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. The President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia would want our people in Ghana, the Republic of Ghana, the President of Ghana, and the people of Ghana to know that they are appreciated for hitting the 61st year in celebrating their liberation, their freedom from colonialism. Thank you, people of Ghana, and we can only hope that Ghana will continue to go places more than where it is today. In fact, Ghana is setting the pace in Africa today. And we hope that the people of Ghana recognize us and cherish what they have. And so, right now, I will start the broadcast. Fellow Amazonians, I address you today in the midst of so many developments in our revolution. Some positive and others not so good in our quest for the actualization of our freedom and independence. Consider this, for example. Why we celebrate the release in Nigeria last week of our two abducted leaders in Barrister Naluwabi and Dr. Ojong Nkongo. The good news didn't really settle down when 8 of our compatriots, refugees in Nigeria, were again abducted by men of the Nigerian Security Service. In ground zero, our people started the week in renewed state of emergencies in both the northern and the southern zones, illegally imposed by the sick colonial administration in our territory. Our people in Batibo in particular started the week under the full weight of the colonial military aggression unleashed upon them. Untold brutality, torture, and indiscriminate killings are going on in Batibo as I speak. In spite of all these developments, I come to you today to reassure you that the state of our revolution is very, very strong. The acting president, Dr. Samuel Sako, and the entire cabinet of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia continue to work day and night, determined more than ever before, in spite of all the distractions, detractors, and derailments, to make sure the baby doesn't die in our hands. In this presentation, I'm going to address a number of these issues, some of which I have already mentioned. I would like to start with an update on the release of our two leaders, Barrister Naluwa and Dr. Ojong Nkongo. As I already stated, they were among the 12, including our president, Sisiko Julius Ayubawi, who were abducted by the Nigerian government on January 5th, 2018, by the Nigerian government. They were freed, the two were freed February 26th, and they have since joined their families. Many people are expecting to begin hearing from them or from the interim government about what happened. And I mean the circumstances leading to their abduction by the Nigerian security forces. I must say that we at the interim government have not begun asking those questions from them yet. We all are aware that these are people who have been through some of the worst type of trauma for the past 1 month and counting. As such, what we consider a matter of priority for them now is their security and their health. We have been informed that They were separated and kept in bunkers, underground bunkers, that had nothing inside except their God in their souls. Right now, the only information we can give you about them is that they are sick owing to the inhuman conditions under which they were kept in underground cells in Nigeria. They will therefore not be put under any pressure, at least not now, to tell us their story of the events leading up to the abductions, not until they are free from the effects of the trauma. Having said that, I would like to reassure every Ambazonian that the interim government is going to get to the bottom of what happened in Abuja prior to and on the day of the adoptions. The acting president has constituted a commission whose assignment is to fish out persons of interest in the whole plot. The commission is about to get to work, and thank God the release of our two leaders couldn't have been so timely for such an investigation. We encourage all Ambazonians to hold their peace and let's focus on the immediate business of the day till the commission finishes its job and publishes its findings. As far as our 10 other leaders are concerned, we still hold the word of Ladaputu Cameroon to task that they are alive and that they are in their custody in Yaoundé while we wait for evidence or video footage that proves that indeed they are alive. And let me now address the abductions in Calabar last Friday. Before the incident, early Friday, there was this post that circulated in the social media to the effect that refugees in ACOM in the ages ranging from 11 years and above were about being made to surrender their details to some team that was visiting the refugee camps. The story alerts that Mr. Atam Milan, one of the compatriots in this struggle, but who is not a member of the interim government, had instructed the team of visitors or the alleged visitors to gather the names for onward transmission to him in South Africa, where he will seek help for them. The story questioned what authority an individual would have without passing through or taking permission from the UNHCR to process names of refugees for forwarding. That story kind of set the stage for what was to come later that same day, talking about the abduction. Upon our findings, we have since discovered that that story was a fabrication and the work of detractors, possibly written with the intention of connecting it with the arrests that were later to take place on the same day. Besides the author of the said story, one Igwe Pius, who claims that he lives in the refugee camp, we have since found out that this guy doesn't exist. The author doesn't exist. It's a fake story. But the person who was at the center of the abductions in Calabar is a woman who is well known to one of the frontline leaders in this struggle. Emerald Johnson is the name of that woman. Many of you may have previously seen her in the video footage that was shot at Dadi when the commander of one of the groups in this struggle went visiting in November last year. That video clip shows this woman, Emerald Johnson, sitting at the back of the SUV with the said commander. And she is wearing something that looks like a red T-shirt in that video footage. She's reported to be the one who was making arrangements for the meeting where our refugees, 8 of them in number, were abducted last Friday in Calabar. She was also initially quoted as being the woman that Milan was allegedly using to illegally record names of some refugees. She had made arrangements for all the refugees arrested to have a meeting in Calabar that Friday. The boys were told that they would be having the meeting with some team that was to arrive from Europe, and that should they appear or come for the meeting, money was going to change hands. We have some samples of text messages that she was sending to the boys, to the refugees, persuading them to make sure they showed up at the meeting. However, the idea of the meeting started building suspicion when she will not reveal to them the exact location where the meeting was to take place. She had booked different hotel locations in Calabar, making sure, however, that she kept the refugees separated. And from there, the hotel locations, they will pick them up the following morning to the meeting venue. The news of the meeting spread in the Ikom refugee camp, and many of the refugees promised to be there, especially as they were told they will be meeting some people from Europe, and the chances of leaving the meeting with some cash were promised. However, interim government officials in the camp who learned about the meeting and the secrecy with which the meeting was being arranged sent out warnings to the refugees not to attend the meeting. In the meantime, the woman, Emerald Johnson, the master planner of the meeting, kept on sending text messages pressurizing the refugee boys to make sure they make it to the meeting in Calabar that Friday. Her text messages show her persuading everyone to make sure they show up at the meeting, promising that they were going to leave the meeting with money in their hands. Those who went have said that the following morning, when they were picked up from the hotels, they were then picked up to the location of the meeting, where they realized that the location of the meeting, which was another motel. Before they realized, they said they were surrounded by armed Nigerian security men. 8 of them were abducted, including a man and his wife, and this woman, Emerald Johnson herself, was also arrested. It is worth noting here that I personally, hearing of the news of the events, was given the phone number of this woman, Emerald Johnson. When I placed a phone call to her that Friday, she was rather erratic, shouting at the top of her lungs and threatening to take action against everyone who was phoning her. She claimed that she knew nothing about the Southern Cameroon crisis other than the photos she sees on Facebook. It was thus a surprise that after the arrest had taken place, we actually found text messages originating from her to the refugees and implicating her in the arrest. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees and the officials of the Nigerian Refugee Commission visited them on Friday at the Calabar police station where they were being kept. But these officials of the UNHCR and the Nigerian Refugee Commission were denied access to the abductees. Same Friday or Saturday, the eight abductees were transferred to Abuja. The UNHCR and the Nigerian Refugee Commission had continued to follow up the case, hoping to secure their arrest and to secure their release, since they are all refugees. We emphasize here that prior to the meeting, the interim government had warned refugees in Nigeria, following the experience of the abduction of Sisiku and others, to avoid attending any meetings in Nigeria for security and for their own safety. But it appears that out of spite for the interim government and deliberate effort to undermine it, the warnings were ignored. In spite of that, while the interim government continues to warn refugees against attending any gatherings or meetings in Nigeria, the interim government will fight to free these refugees because they are all Amazonians. First, before being members of any other groups. And just as Sisiku Ajuktabe, this interim government will fight for them to free them. However, Amazonians living in refugee camps or anywhere in Nigeria who refuse to be cautious and who refuse to hit security concerns aired by the interim government in situations like this continue to do so at their own risk. The interim government would rather money is spent taking care of refugees and defending our homeland rather than spend it on lawyers and cases that could have been avoided. The events in Calabar were followed by the invasion in Batibo, where occupational troops launched an assault on a number of villages at the weekend, killing innocent villagers by cockroaches. And as I said a few minutes ago, as I speak, there are helicopters in Batibo going on now shooting. The provocation from the colonial terrorist forces started in proper on Sunday, February the 25th, when the colonial soldiers shot and killed an innocent woman in a village called Kuruku. A woman, Emilian Onya, was shot right in front of her own house, and a young man by the name of Steroid Artem was also shot on both of his legs. In Kubwe, another village in Batibo, the colonial soldiers destroyed over 16 houses, leaving the people running into the bushes and others to neighboring villages for shelter. These indiscriminate killings and arson motivated a group of local men who, in acts of self-defense, engaged the colonial forces in a confrontation at their own military camp in Ambo, another village. The incident resulted to the death of 13 colonial soldiers. However, not as a result of a combat between the colonial forces and the self-defense men. It came as a result of divisions from within the ranks of the colonial military. Those of them from the southern Cameroons we gathered had refused to take the instructions to shoot from their commanders. And as a result, they opened fire against each other, which resulted to 13 deaths or casualties that are being reported today. Now, this is very important. Instead of blaming the fracas that led to the deaths within its forces, the Republic of Cameroon blames the local villagers who had all escaped from the villages to different hideouts. Unfortunately, one of the self-defense groups that cannot vouch of any presence in Batibo but want to profit from the incident is out there claiming credit for what happened there and for what they did nothing about. This is one of those irresponsible acts that the interim government condemns vehemently. This act of desperation to raise funds at all costs over the corpses of our people is detestable, and conscientious Ambazonians must rise up against this. The Republic of Cameroon is looking for every reason to slaughter our people, and this group is giving them reason to do just that. Every time a soldier or gendarme or a police of La Republique du Cameroon dies, this group rushes to social media to claim the credit and then ask you for your donation. The moment La Republique du Cameroon gets their announcement, they send their tourists to go raise down the village and kill our people. Is the death of, say, 2 soldiers, 5 or even 7 soldiers, worth these whole towns and villages that are being raised down by La Republique soldiers? Of what use is it when you go out, attack a security post, and then run away, only for them to come from behind to raise down entire villages and towns? How has that tactic put the struggle forward? These are acts of cowardice, and all of us in this struggle must condemn it and discourage it. One thing is sure: as long as this goes on, the Republic of Cameroon doesn't care, for as long as the majority of the people being killed are our own brothers, our own sisters, our own mothers, and our own fathers. There has to be a better way, and the better way is for all the self-defense groups to collaborate, as the acting president has put on table. Donations to any individual group that want to do things on its own way, should be very much discouraged. We now have thousands of refugees living in camps in Nigeria, and our leaders abducted because of tactics that were meant basically for propaganda and not to carry on the struggle forward. I am appealing to every southern Cameroonian, every Ambazonian out there, listen to the sound of my voice. We must stop donations to groups that are recklessly putting the lives of our people in danger. In war, you fight to conquer and keep territories, occupy territories. You don't hit and then run, leaving the entire location and its people open to attack and extermination, as we have seen over the months. Please, refuse to give your money to any man, to any group, no matter how popular. If their tactic is to keep on indulging in fruitless missions of hit and run, that end up having towns burned down and the people sent to bushes or killed. Resist it, stop it, don't fund it, don't sponsor it. We will win this war not by hitting and running. We will win it by hitting, taking it over, and occupying it. And that is the strategy of this interim government. That is the reason why the interim government is calling all self-defense forces to come together for a better coordinated strategy. If the interim government strategy is put in place and executed, it is very possible we can get to Boya without any more refugees and any more towns and villages raised down. And who knows, we could even get to Boya sooner than expected. And let me say one thing about fake news and propaganda. The kind that we see in social media platforms that is encouraging this senseless strategy, this reckless hit and run strategy. The last time I was here, I made mention of the fact that there is just so much fake news and fake writers, fake journalists, quote journalists out there that we have to begin to censor. We have to start calling out surrogates and propagators of propaganda. That is the only way we are going to discourage or stamp out leaders who are bent on derailing this revolution through propaganda. Consider, for example, the story from Calabar that went wide at the weekend, that Mr. Atam Milan had ordered that names of children 11 and above be collected and forwarded to him. The name in that story doesn't exist. The story was a fake story. The author doesn't exist. There is nobody like Egwe Pius who wrote that story. It was a fake story. Also consider this story from so-called Amber News on the incident in Baltimore. And let me quickly read to you what so-called Amber News wrote. Now, this is the title of their story. The story coming from Amber News. They called it, they said, the title was, Worst Day for La Republique, as over 70 terrorist soldiers killed. Over 70 terrorist soldiers killed. And it says the blank, 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 blank forces. By the blank, blank forces. The blank, blank forces, he said they set up a trap for the terrorists. And a senior member of the blank, blank, blank spoke to Amber News on condition of anonymity. Those are the signs of fake news. He said the blank, blank, blank forces pretended to have erected a training camp at Puruku village near Batibo, and then sent force intel to the police colonial governor. And they said the colonial governor responded by dispatching terrorist soldiers to the area, who hurriedly and sheepishly began to attack. Tens of them were ambushed. Tens of them were ambushed, Amber News says. And they were killed by the blank, blank, blank forces. And they add, a senior military source in Bamenda put the figure at over 70. This put the death toll of La Republique of Cameroon terrorist soldiers at 521. That is Amber News. That's what they has reported. This story is a total propaganda. And it is not the kind of propaganda that helped this revolution. It is the kind of propaganda that is causing whole towns and villages to be burned down. 70 terrorist soldiers killed by who? And if they could count the numbers, assuming they kill it and could count the number, why couldn't they at least take some photographs, some pictures to show us? Isn't it interesting that they tell us the number of soldiers killed, but they say absolutely nothing about the civilian deaths that in that incident? So who are they actually supporting in this report? When propaganda such as this is sent out into the hands of La Republique of Cameroon, is there any wonder why they come from behind to burn down towns and villages and drive our people into the bushes? How many times have we seen La Republique of Cameroon broadcast the number of civilians they have killed in our territory? We know of genocide. We know of pogroms that they have caused in our territory. How many times have they owned it? Every time you find a story or a post coming from Amber, so-called Amber News, consider it fake and propaganda. Men for La Republique of Cameroon, we must collectively work to stamp out false and fake news merchants who seek to misinform and to instigate genocide against us in this struggle. And by the way, if Amber News, so-called Amber News, were really not fake, can the authors show us their blog or their website or their print publication? Please return to sender any post forwarded to you or your group from so-called Amber News. We must begin to purge, to fish out all these detractors before they derail our work to Boya. And this word of caution applies, of course, to every other person or persons indulged in creating fake news. On another subject, that of year's cabinet appointments And I really didn't want to address it or even talk about it. But the other day, I was asked by the Voice of America radio what the interim government thinks about the appointments. That they said there seem to have given important position this time, or for the first time, to Southern Cameroonians. And that the number of Southern Cameroonians to serve in the new cabinet was drastically increased. Now, this is the thing. Those who continue to think that we should now end this revolution because Paul Biya has appointed the Atanga Indis of Cameroon to serve him, are still under the illusion that our problem is that of marginalization. Our detractors and those who want to derail this revolution for a kind of quick fix should get this very clear. This revolution isn't about marginalization. It is not even about federation. And it is not about getting some form of dialogue to settle it all together. This revolution is about annexation, decolonization, and outright independence for us as a people. Self-determination for us. Paul Biya, if he likes, let him move the capital from Yaoundé to Boya. If he likes, let him get his ministers to all be appointed from the southern Cameroons. And if he likes, let him call for a federal state tomorrow. We will still tell him no, a categorical no. We will not renege in the fight and our resolve for a complete and total free Republic of Ambazonia with headquarters at the foot of the mountain in Boya. That is our position as far as Biya's cabinet appointments are concerned. We will live free or die. And before I go, I really want to pass this announcement and warning. The interim government is being reliably informed that the government of French Cameroon or the French Cameroon regime of Paul Biya plans on carrying out assassinations on American citizens in Cameroon and in the diaspora, so they can turn around and blame it on activists of the revolution. We are therefore advising every American citizen currently in Cameroon or traveling to Cameroon to take special security measures to protect themselves. American peace corps currently in Cameroon or planning to travel to Cameroon should take particular note. The plan of the Biya's regime is to keep our pro-independent movement as a terrorist group so as to give us a bad name before the American people and the American government. We have asked that Ambazonians ignore the senseless state of emergencies passed in both the northern and the southern zones, as those administrators with the colonial government no longer have or can exercise legitimate or legal authority upon our territory. However, it is very important that if you feel your life is in danger, stay home to save your life and perhaps that of your family. With this, I am ready to take the questions. Again, I will be taking few questions here. If you have a question that you would like to ask, please put it on the screen, and I'll be more than glad to take your question. I'm looking for your question. Again, I will take questions only on the subject that I brought to you today. Nikki Mana says, the interim government should tell us their strategy. Nikki, I just finished explaining the strategy of the interim government. The interim government is saying we want every self-defense force to come together, to unite together, and to collaborate together so that we can all have one mission, one goal, one purpose. If we do that, this hit and run that leaves our people shot and killed after the run will never happen again. That is a winning strategy. And every one of us should embrace it. Not this hit and run for fundraising purposes. You hit and run. After you hit and run, innocent people who are left behind and towns and villages are burned down by terrorists from La Republic of Cameroon. That has to stop. All of us have to do everything to stop it. And the way to stop it is to stop funding people, groups who are sponsoring this, who are initiating this. We have to stop giving money to them. I'm looking for your Christians. If you got a Christian, please, I want to see it on the screen. Post your Christian, please. Please post your Christian. I'm ready to take your Christians, and I am waiting for that. A few minutes before I leave. Post your Christians, and remember, I believe the interim government website is now functioning. If you can go there, please go there and make a donation today. If you can't do it today, please remember you can always go back to the website and make a donation for this collaboration platform that the interim government is putting together for all the self-defense forces. Again, please, I am looking forward to taking your questions. I am looking forward to taking your questions. Okay, I'm looking at Derek Brown. Derek Brown say, hello, Chris. We would like to know if since the acting president said he calls on every group to come together, we would like to know, I'm sorry, the screen is moving. Essentially, Derek was asking, he would like to know what response that the interim government is getting and what feedback is getting. Eric, the response has been very positive, and I believe before this week is over, that platform will be set up, those groups will come together, and you will definitely be hearing from us when that happens. Thank you. Anya Blasius says, Mr. Chris, what is the guarantee? That the hit and run? Oh, I'm sorry, I need to do some because the screen is broken. Okay, Ingancha Divine asks, is it true that the interim government website is compromised? One of the leaders said so. Absolutely not, Divine. The interim government website, none of our websites have ever been compromised. Our websites, they run uncompromisingly. So when you go there to donate, please be at liberty, feel free, and know that your financial information will not be hacked or be stolen by anybody. Again, those are ploys that people make to raise money in a cheap way. We are not for that cheap stuff. Go to the website ambergov.org and you can make your donation for the $2 million that the acting president asked for. The $2 million, that should take us to Boya. I will take 2 more questions if possible, then I will leave. Okay. Moish Tanya Riot, Mr. Creed, you promised to organize a fundraising online. What are you still waiting? We have been waiting and getting tired. Please don't get tired. I promise you, either this week or next week, I will come here and do just that. We are trying to get the platforms for that ready. Because I don't want to come here and say, hey, make a donation, and those platforms, when those platforms are not ready. So please, stay put. When I do that, I will come here and let you know when I will be doing that. I will make an announcement for the precise day that I will come here and do that. So please, don't get tired. I will be back for that. Again, thank you for tuning in today, and thank you for those who are watching on SCBC all the way at the home front. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to be back maybe sometime later during the week or next week. May God bless you, and may you continue to pray for our revolution. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of you who tune in on Facebook and other platforms. God bless.
Hail this land of glory, we the Amazonians pledge our loyalty. Presence to our Savior who granted us our freedom, allegiance to the hero who bowed the land with Diablo. From glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.